Hello, this is Roberto and this is the HVAC is my channel. Today we're going to be talking about air leakage and home tightness. Okay, so let's get into it. So in the title, what we're going to put in here is home tightness. What is that? So let's put in here home tightness. Okay, home tightness. So if this is mostly for residential, but if you have a home, for example, like this, right? For a home like this. Okay, very basic, right? So home tightness is related pretty much to infiltration. So because how much air goes through the cracks of the house, see how much. So home tightness is basically measured, I would say, in ACH, and this is air changes per hour, and I would put in here infiltration. I would say air leakage. Okay, and this is going to be related to infiltration. Okay, infiltration. For example, I'm going to put in here like this is going to be in green. There we go. For example, okay, based on the codes, of course, whenever you're talking about codes, you need to check on the location. Okay, so for example, based on the code, I would say like maybe in Virginia, maybe DC, New York City, Maryland. Usually what they say, you have to have an infiltration or an air leakage no less, I mean no more than 5 air changes per hour. There we go, air changes per hour. Okay, and maybe another example, I would say Florida, FL. See, here you go. Virginia, DC, New York City, Maryland, less than 5 air changes per hour. And in Florida, for example, they allow it to have like 3 or 7 air changes per hour. Okay, so that tells me how leaky your house is. You can have average, you can have very leaky, you have very tight. Okay, so that's about home tightness, and this is related to the International Energy Conservation Code, because if you have air leakage, then that means that all the energy you are having in order to cool or heat your house is affected for this infiltration. See, there we go, air changes per hour. Now, based on this, there are different tax incentives if you want to, because there are different programs. Mainly this is for homes, but for homes there are different types of certifications. Okay, so this infiltration, I would say maybe some let's put in here certifications. Okay, but why the houses are trying to get certifications? Usually certifications have advantages like tax rebates, like I would say, for example, incentives. I would say in here, let's put in here a list. Okay, and I'm gonna put that in yellow in here. For example, if you get a certification, you're gonna get advantages like better comfort on your house. Okay, you're gonna get less energy, right? Less energy, which is gonna be, your house is gonna be more efficient, and most importantly, rebates or tax incentives. Okay, so what are those certifications? I'm gonna name some of them. Let's see. For example, Energy Star. I'm gonna put in here number 1, Energy Star. There is another one that is the Hertz rating, Hertz rating based on ResNet. There's the Pearl certification, and if you want to go more aggressive, there is the Passive House, right? So if you want to go deeper, you have in here passive house. See, passive house, and this is certified by let's see, certified by this and the same fuse right there. Okay, so this is kind of extreme. This is more kind of net zero type of thing, but this is kind of more aggressive. Okay, so these are different types of certifications, and these have different requirements. For example, if you want to have a Energy Star Home certified, I'm gonna show you a very quick example on what the requirements are. Okay, so let's see. So I'm gonna grab Google here. So if you put in Google Energy Star, energystar.gov, you have this website in here. Okay, so for Energy Star Homes, if you want to become a partner, you go right here that it says new homes. Under new homes, you can have partner resources. Under partner resources, you have three options. Option number one is single family homes, option number two is multi-family homes, and manufactured homes. For example, if we're going for a single family home, it's going to ask you about again location, and again location. All right, so we've talked a lot about DC, DMV, and New York City and everything. So let's check Florida, for example. If Florida is here, you're going to put a select state or territory. You're going to put in here F. What is the F? Florida right here. Florida, and it's going to ask you about the county. What county are we going to look at? Let's check the most popular one. We're going to put in here Miami-Dade. There we go. So, in order to get an Energy Star certification or Energy Star Home, these are like the summary of the requirements. For example, see, efficiency features at a glance. So envelope, under envelope and doors, you have the infiltration rate. See, in the infiltration rate, the code, see, if you can see in here the code, I don't have the code in here, but we can easily find it. The code says for Florida, you need at least 7 air changes per hour. However, if you want to get an Energy Star Home certification, Energy Star, you have to obtain at least 5 air changes per hour at 50 pascals. This 50 means 50 pascals. That's the infiltration rate. And also you have other requirements, right? With heating and cooling, minimum of 80 AFUE, and then heat pump, air conditioner, sear. There you go. You have water heating, thermostats and ductwork, lighting appliances. This is kind of a summary, but of course there's more involved, but we're talking about home air tightness. See, 5 ACH. Okay, let's analyze that example actually. So infiltration rate is 5 air changes per hour. Let's put in here that, okay? So we're going to put in here as an example. Let's put in here example, because the most important part is the application, right? The application of this the theory. Okay, example. So we're going to put in Florida. In Florida, what does code tell us? Code tells us that is minimum or at least 7 air changes per hour. But when we're referring to code, anytime you're coordinating with an architect or a representative, they are gonna ask you which code, where. Then in this case, we go immediately to what I have been showing in most of my videos. It's easy to put in here Florida. See, Florida. We're gonna put in here Florida. App codes. Okay, before I was researching this a little bit. So Florida building codes, in Florida building codes, you're gonna have in here the energy conservation code. You have the mechanical, existing building, fuel, gas, Florida residential, plumbing. So we're gonna go to the energy conservation code, which is based on IECC 2021, which is International Energy Conservation Code. So we're gonna click on here, and then if we click in here, the first part, we're trying to get more familiar with the codes. It doesn't matter if it's residential or commercial. Having a knowledge of the codes are very important. Okay, so in here we're gonna have the commercial. CE means commercial provisions, and then we have in here the RE, which is residential provisions. Okay, so under the residential provisions, we're in an energy conservation code. Under the residential, we have this residential chapter 4, residential energy efficiency. So if we're gonna hit in here, we're gonna have more options in here. See, residential energy efficiency, we have general building systems, electrical power simulating. So we're going to go to the thermal envelope. Why? Because air tightness is related to the envelope, how much infiltration. So we're going to click in there, and then in here we're going to have prescriptive fenestration, air leakage. So this is the code. So whenever you want to coordinate with the architect code reviewer, you can always refer to this code section of the International Energy Conservation Code or Energy Conservation Code of Florida 2023. Section R402.4, air leakage mandatory. You click in there, and in here it tells you have to comply with the limit air leakage in accordance with these sections R402 and then R405. Okay, no problem. So what we're going to do is we can continue here, installation, and in here at the bottom you have the testing. Okay, so in other words, so this code section that says in here, Florida code less than 7 air changes per hour. Let's see on the code, it says the building of the dwelling unit shall be tested and verified as having an air leakage. Air leakage is the title of this video, and home tightness rate not exceeding 7 air changes per hour in climate zones 1 and 2, which is pretty much Miami, right? And 3 air changes per hour in the other climates. In other words, zone 3 or to 8. All right. So that is the code. Based on the code, you have to have at least 7 air changes per hour. And then we're gonna put that in here. So the code says in here, okay, I'm gonna put that in here. What's the code? So it's gonna be section. It's gonna be section R402.4.1.2. right? It's saying that it's going to be about 7 air changes per hour. But for an Energy Star home, see, Energy Star home, you need the requirement of at least 5 air changes per hour. Okay, so if we want to go deeper a little bit on the codes, because also that's the reason of the HVAC is my channel, to get deeper and analyze a little bit more, because you're gonna see in the internet a lot of videos about how this works. You're gonna see examples about this, but I've seen in so many videos that no one talks deeply into codes. All right, so that's why we're extending a little bit this. So in here it was saying, where is it? I'm gonna put that in here. The other part, it says in here that if the air changes per hour shall be provided, so if the air leakage within an air leakage rate less than 3 air changes per hour shall be provided with a whole house mechanical ventilation system. Okay, so the whole house mechanical ventilation system is the one that we know already. Based on the so we can still check this mechanical ventilation code based on M1507.3. So we can analyze that deeply again, but the main purpose of this video is to talk about air leakage. Okay, so again, let's go here. So we're going to here. Okay, so now the question is, how do you make sure you have 5 air changes per hour? Okay, so now you know what the code is, and you want to certify your home, right, for these advantages. So usually you have to have this tested by a rater. Okay, so what is the rater gonna do at your place, at your home? He's gonna do a test. So what is the test called? The most common one is what they call blower door test. Okay, so we're gonna put in here blower door test. Okay, blower door test. Okay, so what is this blower door test? And remember, this 5 air change per hour is because this has to be related with pressure, so at 50 pascals. Okay, so we're gonna put that with another color right here with pink, and then we're gonna put in here, this is pressure, see the pressure at 50 pascals. Pascal is in the metric system, newtons over meters squared. Okay, but remember this at 50 pascals. And how does this work? Blower door test actually is going to be the following. So if you have your house, and here your house right there. So I'm gonna make this a little bit better. Let's put that in here like this, a 2-story home, right? all right? And then you have an attic, for example, an attic, all right? So at the main door, what you're gonna put is a fan. You're gonna put in here a big fan, and we're gonna put that in pink. You're gonna put in here a big fan that covers the whole door, and then you're gonna vacuum. You're gonna vacuum this, all of this. See, you're exhausting air. See, all the air, you're vacuuming the air in here, okay? You're removing all the air, so that way you can have air coming through the cracks. See, I'm gonna put that in here as removing air. See, removing indoor air, okay? And then that's the blower door test, all right? And for this blower door test, actually is after construction, like I would say there is, based on my experience, you would have a pre-drywall, you would have a final inspection and re-inspection. So this would be for a final inspection. In the final inspection, you would have what is called the infiltration tab in here, infiltration. And the infiltration would be tested, the CFM at 50 pascals, okay? So pretty much what you need to obtain in here is the following, because everything is based on the ACH, right? Air changes per hour. And the formula for air changes per hour is going to be volume times 60 divided by, actually no, let's see, like we're gonna make an adjustment here. Let's see. There we go. So ACH is gonna be equal to 60 times CFM divided by volume. So pretty much you have the volume of the house, because you can easily have the square feet, the square feet area, and you have the height, right? So basically, if you have the square feet and the height, you have the volume, okay? Now, if you obtain the CFM in here, so it's like what's the CFM at 50 pascals, then you're gonna be able to have the ACH. All right, I'm not gonna make this video longer, but as a summary, you saw what is the code, what are the certifications, and these even go deeper and deeper. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget, hit the like button, that helps a lot, and leave any comment or any future video that you want me to make. All right, thanks for watching. HVAC is my channel.